Welcome to this guided meditation series on the sacred text, The Voice of the Silence. Extracts from the Book of the Golden Precepts, written down by HPB. These meditations are gentle journeys through the eternal truths of what may seem to some simply a beautiful metaphysical poem. But to the few, it is recognized as an essential text for any true mystic. The few that can hear the cries and are attuned to humanity's great pain. Those who seek to forego personal bliss and salvation, to instead work to help ease the suffering of all beings. Selflessly they walk the path of ancient, verified, and tested teachings, the path of compassion, of love, of self-transformation, selflessness, and service, forever for humanity and all sentient life. The Dalai Lama has recognized the strong influence of the voice of the silence on many sincere seekers and aspirants to the wisdom and compassion of the Bodhisattva path. To begin, find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Settle into a comfortable position, either sitting back or lying down. Meditation is effortless, requiring only that you gently guide your attention and observations as we transcend the mind. Take your time and do what feels best for you. Start by taking 3 deep breaths, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let go. And with each breath, softly surrender and feel any and all tension or discomfort gently dissolve. If thoughts come to mind, which is completely normal, allow them to pass without any response from you. Simply observe and detach as they float away, as if you were watching a movie. You are at peace in this present moment. All is well. We begin with a few words from HPB on the writing of the voice of the silence. The work from which I here translate forms part of the same series as that from which the stanzas of the Book of Dzyan were taken, on which the secret doctrine is based. The original precepts are engraved on thin, oblong squares, copies very often on discs. These discs, or plates, are generally preserved on the altars of the temples attached to centers where the so-called contemplative or Mahayana Yogacara schools are established. They are written variously, sometimes in Tibetan, but mostly in ideographs. The Book of the Golden Precepts, some of which are pre-Buddhistic, while others belong to a later date, contains about 90 distinct little treatises. Of these, I learned 39 by heart years ago. To translate the rest, I should have to resort to notes scattered among a too large number of papers and memoranda collected for the last 20 years and never put in order, to make of it by any means an easy task. Nor could they all be translated and given to a world too selfish and too much attached to objects of sense to be in any way prepared to receive such exalted ethics in the right spirit. For unless a man perseveres seriously in the pursuit of self-knowledge, he will never lend a willing ear to advice of this nature. Therefore, it has been thought better to make a judicious selection only from those treatises which will best suit the few real mystics in the Theosophical Society and which are sure to answer their needs. It is only these who will appreciate these words of Krishna Christos the higher self. Sages do not grieve for the living, nor the dead. Never did I not exist, nor you, nor these rulers of men, nor will any one of us ever hereafter cease to be. From the Bhagavad Gita. In this translation, I have done my best to preserve the poetical beauty of language and imagery which characterize the original. Fragment 1. These instructions are for those ignorant of the dangers of the lower iti. He who would hear the voice of nada, the soundless sound, and comprehend it, he has to learn the nature of tarana. Having become indifferent to objects of perception, the pupil must seek out the Raja of the senses, the thought producer, he who awakes illusion. The mind is the great slayer of the real. Let the disciple slay the slayer. For when to himself his form appears unreal, as do on waking all the forms he sees in dreams, when he has ceased to hear the many, he may discern the one, the inner sound which kills the outer. Then only, not till then, shall he forsake the region of Asud, the false, to come under the realm of Sat, the true. Before the soul can see, the harmony within must be attained, and fleshly eyes be rendered blind to all illusion. Before the soul can hear, the image, man, has to become as deaf to roarings as to whispers, to cries of bellowing elephants as to the silvery buzzing of the golden firefly. Before the soul can comprehend and may remember, she must, unto the silent speaker, be united, just as the form to which the clay is modeled is first united with the potter's mind. For then will the soul hear and will remember, and then to the inner ear will speak the voice of the silence and say, if thy soul smiles while bathing in the sunlight of thy life, if thy soul sings within her chrysalis of flesh and matter, if thy soul weeps inside her castle of illusion, if thy soul struggles to break the silver thread that binds her to the Master, know, O disciple, thy soul is of the earth. When to the world's turmoil thy budding soul lends ear, when to the roaring voice of the great illusion thy soul responds, when frightened at the sight of the hot tears of pain, when deafened by the cries of distress, thy soul withdraws like the shy turtle within the carapace of selfhood. Learn, O disciple, of her silent God. Thy soul is an unworthy shrine. When waxing stronger, thy soul glides forth from her secure retreat, and breaking loose from the protecting shrine, extends her silver thread and rushes onward. When beholding her image on the waves of space, she whispers, "This is I." Declare, O disciple, that thy soul is caught in the webs of delusion. This earth, disciple, is the hall of sorrow, wherein are set along the path of dire probations, traps to ensnare thy ego by the delusion called great heresy. This earth, O ignorant disciple, is but the dismal entrance leading to the twilight that precedes the valley of true light. That light which no wind can extinguish, that light which burns without a wick or fuel. Saith the great law, in order to become the knower of all self, thou hast first of self to be the knower. To reach the knowledge of that self, thou hast to give up self to non-self, being to non-being, and then thou canst repose between the wings of the great bird. Aye, sweet is rest between the wings of that which is not born, nor dies, but is the Om throughout eternal ages. We will continue the voice of the silence in future meditations. Stay here in this sacred space as long as you wish. Thank you for being with me.